MegaHerzzz. You're listening to MegaHerzzz on 4ZZZ.
You are listening to MegaHerzzz here on 4ZZZ 102.1 FM. My name is August and my pronouns are they, them.
And my name is Klaire and my pronouns are she, her.
Hell yeah, so good to be back on the airwaves. Before we go any further, we would like to acknowledge that MegaHerzzz and 4ZZZ stand on the land of the Yagara and Turrbal people, and we acknowledge them as the sovereign owners of the unceded land on which we live and broadcast. We pay our respects to elders past, present and future, and the Yagara, Turrbal, Yagara, Yugurapul and Quandamooka nations, and we stand in solidarity with all First Nations peoples in the fight for justice. Now, for this next little segment, it is going to be a bit of a darker topic. We've made it our mission here on MegaHerzzz to every week report on the femicides that happen in and around so-called Australia. So if it's obviously a very upsetting topic, if this segment might be too much for you, please practice self-care, take care of yourself. You might want to tune out for 5 minutes or seek support. Look after yourself. We'll let you know some hotlines afterwards if you are in a vulnerable situation or if you just need someone to talk to. Yeah, and we get all of our information from the wonderful work of Sherele Moody, her Femicide Watch, and the Red Heart campaign. So thank you very much to Sherele for doing that incredible work. Klaire, over to you.
So Sherele Moody's been doing a lot of research into the femicides that happen in Australia and documenting every single case. So this week it's been noted that a 69-year-old woman was killed at a home in Spencer Park, Western Australia on February 8th. And not much is known about the case, but it is said that a man that was known to her is in hospital with critical condition, and she is the 8th woman killed this year and the 4th Aboriginal woman lost to violence in 2026. So this is obviously quite saddening, especially considering, the circumstances and the fact that we don't, even really know her name, just the location. So, but Sherele Moody is with the Red Hearts is doing a royal commission into the killing of women and girls, and there is a petition on femicide. So that is something important to be, looking into, seeing the action that can be taken. And later on today in the show, we will be talking about some news regarding a new national plan to address Indigenous femicide and, family violence. So that will be a pretty important discussion coming up. And hopefully a bit more on a positive note, since there is, people are taking that action now. There's a lot of movement towards, addressing what's happening right now and what has been happening for a very long time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there are a few hotlines I'm just going to read out, since this is quite a heavy topic. So make sure to take care of yourself, and if you need to talk to someone, there is the phone line 1-800-RESPECT, which is 1-800-737-732. And there is also the Women's Crisis Line 1-800-811-811, and Men's Line, which is 1-300-789-978.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Klaire, for that important discussion. But yeah, we just wanted to have a quick chat about some of the amazing Fem Fronted Acts that we've seen recently.
Yeah.
We were kind of inspired by that little laneway bracket. There were a bunch of really incredible acts there. I mean, there was Teen Jesus and the Gene Teasers, Pink Pantheress, Wet Leg, Blusher,
Chapel Roan,
duh. she doesn't need that promo. She doesn't need, I'm sure she'll be fine. But yeah, I mean, she's just completely incredible. And the Bel Air Lip Bombs as well, very exciting to see them. And Wisp, who I didn't know a ton about her, but she was incredible, shoegaze, noise music, and she blew me away on way too early in the day, but just incredible. Who else was? Oh, there was OK Lou. She was beautiful.
Love OK Lou.
Yeah, music for bugs. Just very fun, light electronic pop music. But yeah, it was a really wonderful day. There was a lot of incredible femme-fronted artists, and we've also had quite a few. We have quite a few beautiful local femme-fronted gigs coming up. Chelsea Coaster has a show with the Sterling Cannon and Vincent Bell at the Junk Bar on the 20th, and on the same night, Stella Donnelly is playing with Ulla and Charlotte Mead. They're playing at the Triffid.
Yeah, lots happening on that night as well. I think Craning also has a show.
Yes,
local band. I think this is their last Brisbane show before they move away.
So definitely catch that. It's going to be a very busy night, the 20th. And then the day after is Valley Crawl. Exciting. Who are
heaps
your
of
picks of the lineup?
Yeah, femme local artists. I mean, Alison, Worm Girls is playing Valley Crawl. There's Mr. Finn.
Plenty of amazing local acts, and many of them femme-fronted. And it's free as well, which is the most incredible thing, you know.
Everything in the valley, just venue to venue.
Yeah, it's like a little mini Big Sound, except you don't have to pay. It's awesome. Hell yeah. And then we also had quite a few art shows that happened recently. The Eros art show happened on Valentine's Day over in Morningside. And that was I want to give a shout out to my lovely friend Nikita, aka Mother Gore, who put that one together very last minute. There was a whole bunch of drama with another art show that was meant to go ahead that probably shouldn't get into on air because I think there were like lawsuits going out. It was like a whole thing. But Nikita, they pulled it together very last minute, and from everything I heard, it sounded like a beautiful night.
Yeah, it was very like collective, like lots of artists coming together, like organizing together.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, it sounded incredible, and I believe Scrap House also had art show on the same night. I know my friend Maddie was in that. There was a lot of things happening in and around Valentine's Day, and you said you had another one?
Oh yeah, I think there's something coming up at House Conspiracy, February 20th, and I think on the bill there's a lot of like, you know, femme artists and also like filmmakers, lots of different mediums, performances, so should be a pretty cool event, very like local, you know, collective type.
Hell yeah, plenty of stuff going on, plenty to go and do and go and see. We have, like we mentioned, if you've been listening from the beginning of the show, we are going to chat about a bit of news that has come out recently about a first national plan to address violence against Indigenous women and children, which is very
hopefully some
important.
Good news, yeah.
Yes.
Definitely, you know, empowering to see after, you know, all of the heavy topics we've been talking about earlier. So this is, I believe, the first national plan to address violence against Indigenous women and children, which is so important since there's been, you know, calls for these community-led approaches for so long. So this is a $220 million plan to address domestic violence in First Nations communities, and it was co-designed with Indigenous people as well as the federal and state government. So this, I believe, they establish a 10-year roadmap developed with Aboriginal people and the government, and they've set up some committees and, you know, did a lot of listening circles with women with lived experience, and they ended up deciding on giving, you know, this incredible amount of funding to a network of up to 40 community-controlled Aboriginal organizations to deliver specialist services to support, so crisis response teams, emergency accommodation, therapeutic support, and, you know, educational programs. And a lot of this like funding is for these services that are Indigenous-led to assist us people who have had these experiences, and also to, you know, work at preventing these things from happening in the first place. And it's very much about, you know, acknowledging, you know, the system and how it's been, you know, the issues that have been arising in the past, and trying to focus on that, you know, healing and bring back that cultural strength. So it's a lot of addressing those barriers and So talking with a lot of these people with lived experiences and consulting a lot of organizations that are Indigenous and identifying these key risk factors.
Yeah, I mean,
so lots of self-determination in that, but of course it's also important to note this is, a government plan being rolled out, so there needs to be that, accountability for the government as well to still, hand over this control of, how things are being laid out and, giving more of that strength to the community.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is an incredibly important step, even if it feels as if it's coming quite late. But hey, step in the right direction, particularly getting that power back into the hands of Indigenous people and in Indigenous communities. And like you said when we were reporting on femicides beforehand, did you not say that this was the out of the 8 women who have died by femicide this year, this woman who was murdered earlier this week was the 4th Indigenous
the 4th one.
It is, incredibly important work and life-saving work that is being done, albeit too late, but that's okay. Better late than never, I guess.
Yeah.
But some hopefully good news coming out of that. We're going
like a step in the right direction. So,
definitely. You've been listening to August and Klaire. Yeah, it's been fun and we hope you enjoy. Have a good week. See yous.
Isn't that what feminism is about?